The number of people living in extreme poverty has declined by more than 50% since 1990. Sustained economic growth has been the main driver of this change. Norfund, the Norwegian Investment Fund for Developing Countries, is the Norwegian government's main instrument for strengthening private sector in developing countries.
In 1997, a centre coalition came into government. My party, the Christian Democrats, was part of it. And one of the important things we felt was to make sure we had an alternative that could create jobs, support private sector investments in the south, in developing countries.
What Norfund is doing is very important. Our mandate is to support sustainable businesses and thereby contribute to social and economic development in poor countries.
Norfund provides risk capital, expertise and support in order to develop sustainable enterprises. These enterprises contribute to new jobs, increased demand for goods and services, and increased taxes paid in developing countries. When the enterprise is financially viable and Norfund's capital is no longer additional, the investment is exited and the capital released is reinvested in other enterprises.
In an environment where access to risk capital is a constraint for growth, organizations like Norfund has a huge role to play to release the potential for local companies.
To have a thorough understanding of the business environments, Norfund has established regional offices in Africa, Central America and in Asia.
Since 2007, we have concentrated our efforts in countries and regions where capital is scarce. And we have gone into areas which is very important for development, and that is clean energy, financial institutions and food and agribusiness. Electricity is crucial for all development. So today, 50% of our portfolio is in clean energy.
SN Power was established as a joint venture between Statkraft and Norfund. The company's mission was to become a leading hydropower company in emerging markets. Since then, SN Power has built 38 hydropower plants with a total installed capacity of more than 3,000 megawatts. While hydropower dominated Norfund's portfolio until recently, solar and wind power have become more competitive and account for an increasing portion of the portfolio. 250 megawatts of solar power has been built with Scatec Solar, and the Lake Turkana wind power plant will alone provide 310 megawatts of reliable, low-cost energy to Kenya's national grid.
30% of our portfolio is in the financial sector, in microfinance and banks, and that's very important for social inclusion, but also for providing capital to small and medium-sized enterprises.
Norfund was a key player and investor for the establishment of the equity fund Oreos, one of the first SME funds specialised in investing in SMEs in developing countries. In 2009, Norfund and Amani Capital Limited founded Fanisi Capital, a fund focusing on investing in small companies in East Africa.
Norfund has been a very supportive investor, very patient, able to take risks that other investors who are unable to take at the time that Fanisi was formed. They supported us not only financially but also with advice and with the patience to see us through both the ups and the downs.
Food and agribusiness is another priority sector for Norfund. This sector employs approximately half of Africa's workforce. African agriculture is underperforming today, but has significant potential. Norfund invests in farming, food processing, but also in logistics and distribution. The investments contribute to increased productivity and local value creation and help smallholder farmers and companies to gain better market access for their produce.
Since I started working with the Sunrise, I have no problem with educating my family. They provide us with quality seeds, the right fertilizer.
The world has agreed on 17 beautiful sustainable development goals. To achieve these, we need money. Big money, which can only come from taxes and from private investment.
Norfund's investments generate jobs directly through the enterprises we invest in. Investments in clean energy power plants enable even more enterprises to be established. Investments in banks and other financial institutions increase small and medium-sized companies' access to capital and enable them to grow and contribute to economic growth, more jobs and poverty reduction.
Norfund is Norway's most important instrument for contributing to private sector development and job creation in developing countries. So I congratulate Norfund with its first 20 years, and I'm looking forward to following you in the next 20 years.